discuss the active voice and passive voice. Which formula we are going to apply for this formula? We have to see. See, all these tenses are there, three tenses, and with active voice formula and passive voice formula. Let's discuss one by one. Please concentrate here once again. Present indefinite, do or does for active voice, am, is, are for passive voice. Present continuous, am, is, are for active voice, am, is, are plus being for passive voice. Present perfect, has or have is for active voice, has been or have been for passive voice. Present perfect continuous, has been or have been for active voice, has been or have been plus been for passive voice. Then present past indefinite did is for active voice, was were for passive voice. Then present continuous, was were for active voice, was were plus being for passive voice. Past perfect, had is for active voice, had been is for passive voice. Past perfect continuous, had been for active voice, had been plus being is for passive voice. Future indefinite, shall be for active voice, shall be will be for passive voice. Future continuous, will be or shall be for active voice, will be, shall be plus be for active voice. Passive voice. Future perfect, will have, shall have for active voice, will have been, shall have been for passive voice. Future perfect continuous, will have been, shall have been for active voice, will have been, shall have been plus being for passive voice. Always you have to give this formula for active voice and passive voice. Okay? So, dear children, just look at here. These are all main pronoun upside one and downside one all are called subpronoun. So this is also useful for making the active voice and passive voice. When we change active voice into passive voice, these pronouns are also we have to change according to the main pronoun. Okay? See, I is main pronoun. Subpronouns are my, mine, me, myself. We is main pronoun. Our, ours, us, ourselves are subpronoun. You is main pronoun. Your, yours, yourself, yourself. You is subpronoun. They is main pronoun. They, them, themselves are subpronoun. He is main pronoun. His, him, himself is these are subpronoun. She is main pronoun. Her, hers, herself are subpronoun. It is main pronoun. It, itself, it is subpronoun. So my dear children, you might be observing this the round up one. So this round up one, these all pronouns are useful in direct indirect speech also. But we will use these pronouns in active voice and passive voice. So when I comes, you always have to use me in passive voice. When we comes, you have to write us. When you come, you have to write you or your. When they come, you have to write them. When he comes, you have to write him. When she comes, you have to write her. When it comes, you have to write it or it. You have to write. So in this way, you have to make. You have to understand which other pronoun is used for which subpronoun. So I is used for me, we is used for us, you is used for you or yours, they is used for them, he is used for him, she is used for her, it is used for it or its. Okay? So in this way you have to understand the pronoun. And we will use this pronoun and the active voice passive voice formula in the sentence. Okay? See dear children, hello. In passive voice, subject become object and object become becomes object becomes subject. You have to keep in your mind this. Okay? Dear children, look at here. What is that? You have to understand. In passive voice, subject become object and object become subject. See now. We will see whether this formula is here or not. We have to check. See, whether indefinite do or does the active voice is not. So in passive voice, object plus am is are plus be plus by plus subject. This formula is applied in passive voice or not. See, I is subject, right? Subject plus eat. I eat rice. Verb 1 plus object. Subject plus verb 1 as or is not there. So I eat rice. So I eat rice. Subject plus B1 plus object. See now rice is object plus is there. That is or not check first. In formula is there. Eaten. After is B3 is there. Plus by. That is by or not. Then subject here. Now you see this I became here, that subject became here object. This object became now, this object became here subject. Okay? You understand? This was subject, I was subject. This main pronoun was subject, but when it came to second passive voice, it became object, and that rice was object here, first sentence active voice. When it changed into passive voice, it became the subject. So, what is our formula? In passive voice, subject become object and object become subject. See my dear children, this formula is present there or not, you have to see. Okay? Okay? He writes the SW. The SW is written by him. Okay? They eat the vegetables. The vegetable eats. Or vegetables are eaten by them. So in this way you have to make the sentence. Dear students, present continuous. Please focus on here. Am is are is for active voice. Am is are plus be for passive voice. That is we have already discussed. So but formula subject plus as is are plus be plus be plus object. See, this formula is applied here also. This normal one. C is cutting the vegetable. C is subject plus helping verb. Cut is B1 plus ing plus object. Now you see dear children. Hello. Let's look at it. The vegetable. C is cutting the vegetables. C is cutting the vegetables. The vegetables are cut by hand. The vegetables. Now the object becomes subject here. You see. Then R plus B3 followed by plus object. Now subject became object. Object became subject. And B1 become B3. ing was removed. Okay? Followed by. Always keep in your mind, my dear children. Hello? When you have to use by, after B3, you have to use by. Another sentence. You are watching the movie. The movie is watched by you. The movie here, the movie is object here. Here it becomes subject plus is After that, verb 3, you see the formula. Verb 3, right? By plus object. Now it was subject. Here it was subject. Now in passive voice it is become object. Then watching the verb 1 became plus ing become verb 3. So in this way you have to make understand. You have to understand, okay? You understand? See, C is cutting the vegetables. The vegetables are cut by me. You are watching the movie. The movie is watched by me. Being watched. The movie is being watched. Is being. Here you have write being. I forgot. Here the vegetables are being. Here being you have to add. The vegetables are being cut by me. The vegetables are being cut by me. The movies are being watched by me. Okay. They are writing the homework. The homeworks are being written by them. They are or she is teaching the English. The English is being taught by her. In this way you have to make the sentence. Okay now? Discuss present perfect tense. Okay? Active voice, passive voice as we are discussing. In active voice, has or have you have to use. In passive voice, has been or have been you have to use. And one more formula you have to keep in your mind is that subject plus has been or have been plus V3 plus by plus object. Okay? See here, I have told you the subject becomes object and the object becomes subject. See, he is subject here, but when it comes to passive tense, it will become object. So, subject becomes object. Now, the object becomes subject. How an apple is here object, but here an apple is a subject. As has been, has to, you have to follow the rule and regulation. So, he has been eaten an apple. An apple has been eaten by him. Another sentence you see active voice. They have completed the word. The word has been completed by them. Here also you see this subject. Here when it comes object. When this one the word is object here, but here it is word as a subject. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Present perfect continuous tense. Active voice you have to use has been or have been you have to use for active voice. For passive voice you have to use has been, have been plus been you have to use for passive voice. And one more formula you have to keep in your mind is that subject plus has been or have been plus been plus B3 plus by plus object. So you have to find out that this formula whether in this sentences in passive voice applied or not. So then the subject here, but when it comes here in passive voice it will be object. So have been it is there. Okay, doing in continuous tense. No, that's why you have to use the been. So doing Z into B3 as followed by. So the work is working as a subject here. Subject as has been. See dear children, you will have to understand this. See, they have been doing the work. The work has been being done by them. See another sentence you see, active voice. She has been writing the CW. The classwork has been being done by her or written by her. Done or written. We write written here. Written by her. She has been writing the classwork. The classwork has been being written by her. So here also she is subject, but when it comes here and passive voice it will be object. And the work, the CW is here.
Subject.
Here object in active voice, but when it comes to passive voice it will be subject. Then as has been you have to use writing. This ing is here is used. Then write is used for V3 here. Okay, V3. Now followed by 5. So my dear children, what you have to understand is that in active voice and passive voice, the subject changes. When it is active voice, subject becomes in passive voice, it will become object, and in active voice object, when it comes to passive voice, it will become subject. And when it is continuous tense, we are talking about the continuous tense. In continuous tense, always any continuous tense, you have to use being. Okay? Then only you have to use B3. And one more thing, after B3, always you have to use by. Keep in your mind. Okay? Always after B3, always you have to use by and object, the other words. So in this way you have to learn all should learn the active voice and passive voice and the meanings. You have to understand and when to use by, when to use B3, and when to use the formula, and when the subject changes into object and when the object changes into subject. Everything you have to understand and you have to practice a lot. Okay, thank you my dear children for watching these videos and attending these sessions. May God bless you. Practice well. We have discussed the present tense. Today just we will discuss the past tense. So past indefinite. In active voice we should use did. In passive voice we have to use was and were. So but formula you have to keep in your mind subject plus was or were plus B3 verb 3 plus by plus object. So we have to find out this formula whether in these sentences applied or not. See, look at here. Active voice. He did the homework. He is subject. Did is as it is here everywhere. The homework is object here. I have told you my dear children, when the active voice change into passive voice, the subject become object and object become subject. So now SW is now it became subject. That was object in active voice. Now it became subject. Was as it is was. Then B3 by follow him. Now he is main pronoun and him is subpronoun. Now subject become object. Okay, main pronoun become subpronoun become object here. See, subject become object and the object become subject and the formula is followed here. See, that W was done by him. Second sentence you see my dear student here. They did the plays. The plays were done by them. Okay? They did the plays. This active voice. The plays were done by them is passive voice. Past continuous. You see. Was were is active voice. Was were plus being is passive voice. Formula is subject plus was were plus being plus B3 plus by plus object. Okay? Always you have to keep in your mind for the past continuous tense you have to use. All the continuous tense you have to use being. After being B3 plus by plus object you have to use. So we will see whether that formula is applied in these sentences or not. He was taking the spoken English classes. In passive voice, the spoken English classes were being taken by him. Here also you will find the active voice. The subject become in passive voice object and the object become subject. And the formula is used here. Second example you see in active voice. They were writing the classwork. The classwork was being written by them. They become them. Okay, that means what? The main pronoun when it comes to the passive voice, it becomes the subpronoun. I become me, you become you, they become them. Okay, and we become us like that. He become him. she become help, it become it. So in this way you have to remember the active voice and passive voice formula as well as you have to make the sentences. Okay? Friends, let's discuss past perfect. See, had is used for active voice, had been is used for passive voice, and the formula you have to always keep in your mind: subject plus had been plus V3 plus by plus object. We have to check this formula. This formula is applied in this sentence or not. They had been taken the book. Normal sentence, active voice. Passive voice, the book. It was object, now it became subject. They was subject, then became object. The book had been taken by them. The book subject had been is there or not? She passed the formula plus V3 is there. After had been is V3 no?
Yeah.
Plus what is there? By plus object. All these are there in the formula. So the book had been taken by them. Second sentence, second example you see. You have
3.
So you had cut the vegetables. See here, active voice you had cut the vegetables. Passive voice, the vegetables have been cut by them. So my dear children, in this passive voice also you will find the vegetables is subject, had been. V3 is cut by them object. So dear children, again you see in past perfect continuous we will discuss now. In this past perfect continuous also we have the formula. Had been is used for active voice. Had been plus being is used for passive voice. And what is the formula? Subject plus had been plus being plus V3 plus by plus object. Once again I repeat it. Subject plus had been plus being plus V3 plus by plus object. Please keep in your mind that formula. So whether that formula is applied in these sentences or not, you have to check. Active voice you see, they had been completing the classwork. In passive voice, what is the object here? The classwork. The classwork becomes subject in passive voice. The classwork had been completed by them. Second example you will see, I had been watching the video. The video is object here. I is subject here. The video is become object in passive voice. Passive voice sentence you will see. The video had been being watched by me. You have to change in this way. Okay? When you are changing the active voice into passive voice, always you have to keep in your mind these formulas and other formula I have written. Okay? Always keep in your mind. Subject become object and object become subject, and the had been or happened, whatever may be the thing, you have to write there. And one more thing is that after the verb 3, always you have to, after the verb 3, always you have to use by plus object. Okay? That means subject plus helping verb plus V3 plus by plus object. This is the fundamental formula for active voice, passive voice. Okay? Active voice means what? That's a normal formula. Okay? So, present tense over, future tense, past tense over. Now we discuss future tense. Future indefinite. Shall will is used for active voice. Shall be, will be is used for passive voice. And the formula is that subject plus will be or shall be plus V3 plus by plus object. We have to find out, my dear children, here whether this formula is applied or not. They will do the work. The work will be done by them. See, the work is subject. Will be helping verb as helping verb. Will be plus done is B3. Is there B3? Yes. By is by. Then is object. That means the subject here is become object and the object here becomes subject here. So another example you see, you will write the English notes. That English notes will be written by you. In active voice, you will write the English notes. In passive voice, the English notes will be written by you. So likewise, you see my dear children, future continuous tense. What is the formula of future continuous tense? You have to use active voice will be or shall be, and for passive voice you have to use will be, shall be plus being. So what is the formula for this future continuous? Subject plus will be or shall be plus being plus B3 plus by plus object. Once again I repeat this: subject plus will be or shall be plus being plus B3 plus by plus object. So we have to check out in passive voice whether this formula is applied or not. Okay, they will be writing the SW. The SW will be being written by them. See, the SW is subject here. It was object here, but when it came to the passive voice, it became subject. So the object, active voice object become here passive voice subject. Will be, it is there in there. Will be or shall be will be plus being, it is there being, then written verb 3 plus by followed by and then is object here. So this formula is applied in this sentence. So likewise in second sentence or second example also you will see, I shall be drawing the pictures. The pictures will be being drawn by them. So here also in this active voice also, so in this passive voice also, the formula is applied. So in this way you have to make the sentences and you have to make use when you are speaking with someone else, the active voice and passive voice. Okay? This is the future perfect tense. See, in active voice you have to use will have, shall have. In passive voice you have to use will have been, shall have been. But what is the formula for this future perfect? Subject plus will have been or shall have been plus verb 3 plus by plus object. Very good. Now let's see example. He will have done the work. The work will have been done by him. He is subject here, but when it is coming here, the subpronoun is object becomes. But the word is object here, but when it then in the passive voice, it is subject. As we have to follow the rule and regulations and the formula, it is applied here in passive voice. Okay? Again, one more sentence you see in active voice. She will have completed the lunch. The lunch will have been completed by her. Here also in this passive voice second example also the formula is applied here. The lunch is subject plus will have been. Is there will have been? There or not? Will have been. Okay. Plus B3 is there. Followed by is here. Plus object. So my dear children, in this way you have to make the future perfect formula and active voice and passive voice. Now you see future perfect continuous formula. Will have been or shall have been is used for active voice. Will have been, shall have been plus being is used for passive voice. Passive voice. Do you understand? In the different formulas of future perfect continuous. Again, one more formula you have to remember. Subject plus will have been or shall have been plus being plus B3 plus by plus object. See what is the formula? Subject plus will have been or shall have been plus being plus B3 plus by plus object. So this formula is applied here or not, we have to check in passive voice. So you will have been solving the maths problem. You will have been solving the maths problem. I have told you when we are going to change the active voice into passive voice, the subject become object and the object become subject. And what are the rule and regulations are there in between you have to use, like will have been, shall have been you have to write, or being you have to write. In continuous form being definitely you have to use. See here you is subject here. Here the maths problem is object. See when we change the active sentence to passive sentence, the maths problem became subject here. Will have been, as it is will have been. Being, it is present here being. Solve is B3, is present here. By is present here. You is object here. So you is first one and active voice, you was subject. But when it is coming in passive voice, you is object. See, subject become object here, and the object become subject. The maths problem will have been being solved by you. Okay. Second example we will see. We will have been learning the dance. We will have been learning the dance. So we is subject here. Learning the dance. Sorry. The dance is object. See my dear children, how this is changing. The dance is object in active voice, but when it comes to passive voice, it is subject. Then will have been here. Plus being is here. Will have been. You see, will have been. Plus being is here present. Learning, instead of this ing, being is used here. Learn B3 plus by followed by object. See, be is main pronoun. Subpronoun is as. Main pronoun is be. Subpronoun is as. In the first beginning of the active voice and passive voice, I have told you, I have written this formula also. See my dear children, you can see here. The dance is subject. Will have been here helping verb. Being is used in continuation. So we have to use being plus B3 plus by plus object. See, let me read. The dance will have been being led by us. Okay? Because you have to keep in your mind this rule and regulation. You have to keep in your mind. As I have told you, the active voice and passive voice from present tense to future tense. You have to keep in your mind. There is little bit only. You have the changes only. You have to keep another formula which I have written here. Likewise, I have written from present tense to future perfect continuous. From present indefinite to future perfect continuous tense, I have written all the formula. You have to follow all the formulas, and you have to learn active voice and passive voice, and you have to study. Thank you. May God bless you. Study well.